Okay guys, so I'm at the 50-year trail, on the 50-year trail, here in Catalina, Arizona, just outside of Tucson. Headed back. It's been a long day so far, nice and hot. I figured on my way back, although it looks like I'm going uphill, maybe hard to talk, but figured I'd do a roughly 3-month bike review. So I bought this 2019 Kona Kahuna hardtail 29er in early January this year, so it was a leftover. Got a little bit of a deal on it. It's a entry level to, I guess, mid-grade maybe mountain bike as far as hardtails go. I think its price range is around $1,200 or so, brand new. And basically this is my first real mountain bike since I stopped riding in the early 2000s for various reasons. So kind of getting back into it, I had to learn a lot. Overall, I'm happy with the bike. You know, like I said, if I could have done some things differently, I mean, honestly, because I didn't really know. This bike has a through axle on the front, but not on the rear. On the rear, it's a quick release. Not that it's a real big deal. It's just that if you want a bike to, I guess, last longer as far as being able to keep it on the road, keep it upgraded and whatnot as you go, having a through axle on the rear would probably help. It may start getting, as the years go, harder to find quick release axles like new. I don't know, I'm just guessing. It's kind of seems how things go in the mountain bike world. They start phasing out some of the older style technology and ends up being harder to keep the older bikes going. So I might have just went ahead and got a bike with both through axles, and they're a lot stronger anyways. And in that way I could feel like it's a fully up-to-date bike as far as that goes. But I mean, honestly, it doesn't make a difference on how the bike rides. I'd probably buy a bike with fatter tires to begin with. This one, what do I have? Two 2.5s. What is it? WTB Trail Boss. That's the tires that were on it. They were good tires, super fast, but not suited for this kind of chunky, sharp rocks and stuff. So I would have looked for something that already had, you know, the fat tires for the, you know, like 2.5s or up for, you know, better cushion, better stability, stronger. You know, instead of upgrading, which I did, I upgraded to the Maxxis. I've got 2.5 on the front. I put a used 2.3 on the rear. I'll probably be upgrading it to a new one, and I'll probably go 2.5 on it just so they're even. And what else would I do? I might have bought something with a longer travel suspension fork, although I haven't as of yet. I mean, I'm not jumping. I'm not bombing off too many crazy things, and I've never bottomed it out that I know of, so it's probably fine. But just to have a little more rake maybe to the bike. I'd probably eventually I'll put some risers, maybe a shorter stem risers on it, which if I had stepped up to a little bit more expensive bike like the Hanzo, I think it comes set up more like that. The drivetrain is great. The 11-speed SRAM NX drivetrain, I mean, it's been good. I wouldn't change that. The brakes are good, although I do notice some fade if I'm going, you know, downhill pretty quick and I need to get on them. They don't seem as responsive as they get some heat in them, which is probably normal of any brake. but I might have looked for something a little bit beefier than that. But I mean, for what I do, for the most part, they're fine. I mean, I don't do that many downhill stuff anyway, so I think that's really about it. I mean, yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, the bike is what it is. It's a good, just all around, just bike. I mean, it's a good beginner bike. It's a good, if you've been biking for a long time, bike, you know, and you just want something just to get out there and beat up and, you know, have fun on. I mean, that's what it does. It's, you know, it's stiff. I mean, it's a hardtail. That aluminum frame is pretty firm. I find myself trying to run lower tire pressure in the rear just to soften it a little bit, but there's not a lot of give in the frame. There's not a lot of flex. It's pretty rigid frame as far as that goes. Yeah, otherwise I love the bike. It's just a couple little things here and there that you know, now that I know what I know, I would have done differently, but I would have been paying a lot more too. I think, you know, like I said, this was a leftover 2019, so I paid $965, I think it was, out the door. That's hard to beat for the type of components that are on this bike. So no complaints there. All right, I've got a hill to climb and I'm not looking forward to it. So I will spare you the tragedy of me trying to climb this hill. It's probably going to be more of a hike. And then when we get over on the other side, maybe if there's any battery left, I'll show you some of that. So the question is, as I'm out of breath here, would I recommend this bike? And I would say absolutely. If you're looking to get in to mountain biking on a budget, my opinion is start off somewhere around $1,000 or $1,500 in there. Otherwise, you know, if you start off in the $400 to $500 range, you're going to quickly want to start upgrading it, and before you know it, you're going to have more in that bike than you would have if you just paid the $1,000, $1,500 right off the bat, because upgrading is not cheap. So for me, my opinion, what this bike is, I'm 100% happy with it. Yes, there's things that I know now I do different. That's why I'm telling you to spend a little bit more if you're serious about getting into mountain biking. That way you don't have to worry about upgrading later, and the components are going to be better quality, so they're going to last longer. This bike is around $1,200, like I said. It's kind of a, I don't know if you can hear me with the wind. It's kind of an in-between bike, I call it, as far as, it's in between old school and new school. It's got some new school geometry, but it's not crazy. And it's got the quick release rear and a through axle on the front, which kind of, my opinion, makes it kind of an in-between bike. It's a good all-around bike as far as riding goes. You know, unless you're thinking of tackling ridiculous downhill stuff or crazy jumps, I wouldn't recommend it for that. But if you're doing everyday trail stuff, if you're a weekend warrior like I am, it's a great bike for that. Probably be a great bike packing bike also. Yes, I would recommend this bike for sure. If you could afford to spend a little bit more, get something with a little bit more as far as modern, I guess, geometry and the through axle on both wheels, then I think that's the way to go for sure if you could afford it. Otherwise, this bike is for $1,200 is top notch in my opinion. So there you have it. That's my review of this bike. I plan on keeping it for a good while. I do hope to get a full suspension sometime soon. I just have to figure out where I'm going to keep 3 bikes, because I've got my wife's bike, this bike, and if I get a second bike for me, that's 3 total. And as you know, we travel full time, and a 5th wheel that's not the biggest 5th wheel, and it's not a toy hauler, so we don't have the space to store all this stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I'm going to try to finish this thing out because I'm about to keel over here. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment, let me know what you think, what I can do better. Let me know what you think about the bike. Ask questions if you have them. I'll try to answer them best to my knowledge. Or you can go online and just look up the specs for the 2019 or 2020 Kona Kahuna hardtails. Yeah. Talk to you guys later.